The night after Dior Fashion Week 2025 was quiet in Paris, yet the world seemed to hum with Jimin's name. His graceful walk on the runway, the elegance of his presence, and the soft charisma that seemed to glow even under the harshest camera flashes had left everyone in awe. It wasn't just another fashion event. It was a moment that reminded people why Park Jimin was more than an idol. He was art in motion. And perhaps what made the night even more meaningful was that it fell just before his birthday. March had always been a month filled with love for Jimin. Every year, fans around the world turned it into a global celebration. Billboards, projects, charity drives, even lights on bridges carrying his name. Yet this year, 2025, felt a little different. Jimin was in Paris, far from home, surrounded by cameras and luxury, but also a little alone. He had smiled through the Fashion Week events, gracious, elegant, humble. He had posed for photos, greeted designers and attended after-parties, but in the quiet corners of his mind, he couldn't help but miss the familiar laughter of his members. Especially Jungkook. Because for the last few years, no matter how busy life became, Jungkook always found a way to reach him when it mattered most. And just past midnight in Paris, as Jimin returned to his hotel suite overlooking the Seine, the clock ticked toward his birthday. His phone began to light up with messages from fans, staff, and friends. Notifications flooded his screen so quickly that for a moment he set the device aside, took a breath, and just stared out the window. The city sparkled beneath him, calm, elegant, almost dreamlike. And in that stillness, a new message appeared. From Jungkook. Happy birthday, Hyung. I watched your Dior show. You were breathtaking. You always are. Jimin smiled, that small, quiet smile that only appeared when something truly touched him. But before he could type back, another message followed. You don't even realize how many people find strength just by watching you smile. I'm one of them. He blinked, reread the words, and felt something warm spread in his chest. Jungkook wasn't one for long messages. He didn't usually say things like that. Not publicly, not even privately, unless he truly meant them. That's what made his words hit harder. There was a sincerity, a weight that Jimin could feel even through the screen. A few seconds later, another message came. I know you don't like making wishes, but if you have one tonight, I hope it's for yourself. You always wish for everyone else. That line made Jimin pause. It was true. Every year, Jimin's wishes were always selfless. For the members, for army, for peace, for love. But tonight, with Jungkook's words echoing in his heart, he felt something shift. Maybe for once he could let himself be loved, without giving, without performing, just being. He typed a reply. Thank you, Jungkook. I saw your message. I don't know what to say except, you always know how to make me smile. A typing bubble appeared almost instantly. That's my job, isn't it? To make you smile. And Jimin laughed, softly, quietly to himself. He could almost hear Jungkook's playful tone, the way he'd say it with that shy grin, pretending to joke while meaning every word. Jimin replied, teasing, You're too sweet tonight. Only for you, Hyung, Jungkook wrote back. Because it's your day. He added a small photo, one Jimin hadn't seen before. It was a simple candid shot from a few years ago, during a late-night studio session. Jimin had fallen asleep on the couch, still in his practice clothes, and Jungkook had taken the picture quietly, adding a small caption now beneath it. You worked so hard that night. I never told you, but I was proud of you. I still am. Jimin stared at the photo, his throat tightening slightly. He remembered that night. The exhaustion, the pressure, the unspoken bond of comfort they shared when words weren't enough. And now, years later, that single message carried everything they had been through. The laughter, the late nights, the silences that said more than words ever could. You're making me emotional, Jimin finally typed. Good, Jungkook replied. It's your birthday. Feel everything. You deserve every light that shines for you. That sentence, you deserve every light that shines for you, was something Jimin would think about long after the night ended. Because for someone like Jimin, who spent years giving warmth to others, hearing that he deserved it too meant everything. Later that night, Jimin posted a quiet story on Instagram, just a view of the Paris skyline with a soft caption. Thank you for the love. I feel it truly. No names mentioned. But fans noticed a small detail. a subtle reflection in the glass window that looked like a tattooed hand holding a cup of coffee. Some said it was coincidence. Others smiled knowingly. Because a few hours later, Jungkook posted on his own account a simple black screen with a white heart emoji and the word, always. That one word sent the fandom spinning. But to Jimin it wasn't a mystery. He knew exactly what Jungkook meant. The next morning, Jimin woke to hundreds of messages from the members, from family, from friends all over the world. Yet one message stayed pinned at the top, Jungkook's. He reread it quietly, smiling to himself as he sipped his coffee. You don't even realize how many people find strength just by watching you smile. I'm one of them. Those words lingered with him through the day, during breakfast, during his Dior interviews, even during the surprise mini-celebration his team arranged in the hotel. The cake, the candles, the laughter, they were lovely. But in between all that joy, Jimin felt this calm sense of gratitude, not only for the love he received from the world but for the one person who always managed to reach him in the most personal way. Later that evening, after everything had quieted down again, he sent Jungkook one last message. Thank you for remembering always. I don't say this enough, but I'm really grateful for you. Jungkook replied almost instantly. Don't thank me. Just promise to smile again tomorrow. And Jimin did. That night when he finally went to bed, he scrolled back through old photos. Tour memories, studio nights, birthdays from past years. In so many of them, Jungkook was there. Sometimes in the background, sometimes next to him, sometimes just a hand reaching out in a frame. He realized something simple yet profound. No matter how much their lives changed, Jungkook had always been constant. Always there during the milestones, the quiet in-betweens, the unspoken moments. As Paris drifted into sleep, Jimin whispered to himself, "You always know how to find me." And if he had checked his messages one last time, he would have seen a new text from Jungkook, sent just a few minutes before. Wherever you are, Hyung, I hope you know you're loved. Not just today. Always. It wasn't meant for anyone else to see. It wasn't crafted for headlines or fans. It was a message from one heart to another. Quiet, steady, and real. Because behind all the lights and fame, behind Dior's cameras and the global hashtags, there was this, a bond that had weathered time, distance, and everything in between. And perhaps that's what made Jimin's birthday in 2025 so special. Not the parties, not the luxury, but the gentle reminder that he was seen and cherished, even when he didn't ask for it. When the world saw him as Dior's muse, Jungkook saw him as Jimin. The same person who still laughed too easily, still worried too much, still gave too selflessly. And on that quiet birthday night, those simple words, "You deserve every light that shines for you," became the most beautiful gift of all.